What is up, everybody? It's been a minute since I've really posted on, or it's been a minute since I've posted consistently on YouTube. Things have been crazy the last 6 months, and I just don't really have the time to edit. So my goal or my thoughts are to come live a few times a week, help answer just any general Q&A that you may or may not have while I'm working on some stuff here in the office. If you haven't caught any of the last couple of videos, we got a new office. It's like 1,200 square feet, somewhere around there, for office suite. And so far, it's going great. Guys are out in the field. I'm focusing on growing and building the business here. Had a meeting this morning with our two office team members talking about some changes and that we're making on the back ends, how we're going to be doing our scheduling. And it's been great so far, no complaints. But right now, I'm just updating or posting some blogs that our office team wrote. I'm a little behind, about 4 behind, so I'm going to try to get at least one of them posted today. I've never gone live before, so I really have no expectation for anybody to pop on. But if you do pop on and you have any questions about junk removal, the junk removal industry, dumpster rentals, you're curious on how things work, then feel free to pop a question in the comment box. Be more than happy to answer them. If not, this will just be failed experiment number 1, and we'll try it again in a few days. Let's see here. What's going on? So, like I was mentioning, first time I've gone live on YouTube, just here in the office working, specifically working on uploading some of the blogs that our office team has written. If you got any questions, you want to chat, feel free to drop a comment. And as I'm working, I'll be more than happy to jump in and answer any general questions you have, junk removal or dumpster rentals. The blog I'm uploading right now, one of our team members wrote, and it is why garage cleanouts in Menifee are easier with the right team. One thing we've dropped the ball on in the last few years, not actually, yeah, probably say the last couple of years, is we've dropped the ball big time on our blogs. We spent a lot of time and money the first couple years really investing in SEO, and lately, last year and a half, 2 years, haven't really done anything. We fired our SEO company probably about 2 years ago, and since then, up until a couple of weeks ago, we really haven't had any content at all. Uh-oh, I need to get this. Thank you for calling Temecula Valley Junk Pickup. This is Abel. Hey, how are you? Oh, no worries. Yes. Okay. 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 I didn't see that, but I can get the EIN sent over pretty quickly. Let's see. Yeah, if you could shoot me an email and I could just reply to that. Yep, that's correct. Got it. No worries. Yeah, if you send that over, I'll get it sent over here within a few minutes. Okay. Got it. Got it. Oh yeah, yeah. Couple years. Okay. Perfect. Yeah, easy enough. I appreciate that. Okay, sounds good. I appreciate it. All right, thank you. Okay, bye-bye. All right, so I've been what's up, Andrew? So I've been kind of chewing over this idea of going live a couple times per week while I'm in the office working. In the last 3 hours, I just been like, do it, don't do it, do it, don't do it. I had a meeting with my team. I'm like, all right, when they leave, I'm gonna jump on live, and then I finally get over the fear and I do it, and then I get a phone call. Then one of our other guys called us too, but let's see here. So good question. If I were to start again with dumpsters, hook lift or roll off? So that's actually a great question. So let me text my guy real quick. Um, everything good. So honestly, it all depends on your area. So I would love a hook lift truck. I think they're beautiful. They're extremely handy. They can get you out of some really tight spots. They're great for bagsters. There's a lot of really good options to be able to use a hook lift truck on. But in my area specifically, in the West Coast, hook lift trucks just aren't really a thing. My closest hook lift is going to be hour and a half south of me, and then 2 hours northwest of me. So the reason why that's important and the reason why you want to think about what system is prominent in your area is you're going to break down eventually. It's not if you're going to break down, it's when you're going to break down. So if you're going to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on a truck, realistically, most of us can't buy two hook lift trucks, right? So you need to rely on your community, on your local network to help you when you break down. So I wanted a hook lift. That's what I was set on. And then when I really sat down and looked at the logistics, if I break down and I'm out for a month, 2 weeks waiting on parts, that means I can't service any of my dumpsters. So we went standard rail. We started off with the Max D system, had that for a couple years, and late last year we made the transition over to a standard rail Cougar system as our first step into getting into a full size roll off truck. But out here where we are, standard rail is prominent and it's what everybody has. Sorry here. One of my guys needs to get off early tomorrow and come in late Thursday. Cool. So that's what I would do. I would see what you have in your area, what type of backup you could have in a worst case scenario, and go that route. What's up, Andrew, brother? How you doing, man? Where are you at in the country right now? Hopefully that helps though. I would love a hook lift truck, but it's not what we use out here on the West Coast. Not yet, at least. I know of one guy locally who might get a hook lift, but oh, you got back already? I was about to say, when are you going to go to San Diego? Okay, right on, man. Oh, Cougar versus Max D. Cougar all day long. I still have my one of my Max D ones. I just posted it for sale the other day. I have one 20-yard bin left to go with it. Before I let it go, I'll probably do a comparison video. So here's the deal. So Max D. So I've had 3 Max D trailers. Max D was a really, I mean, not going to say isn't. It is a good brand, but in the beginning, it was a lot more. It was a smaller company, and things weren't as mass produced as they're mass produced now. My last couple trailers from them, I've just had a lot of issues with. One specifically with the frame cracking, and that is a very common issue. I know 1, 2, 3, 4, probably 5 guys who've had Max C's frames crack. And we didn't really haul very heavy. We hauled low boys. Max C sells a 7-yard low boy. I had some custom made 5-yarders because I borrowed a 7-yarder once and I thought it was way too much weight. But looking at the price for a Cougar trailer versus a Max C trailer, night and day difference in the quality for the price point. I made the drive out to pick up my Cougar trailer. Coolest thing ever, man. I mean, I drove just nonstop. I think the first day I drove 19 hours, slept for a few hours, and then woke up and drove the last couple hours to pick it up. But I pull up to this farm in the middle of Texas, and there's a shop and there's a house in the back, and I'm kind of confused, but I see the trailers there, so I know I'm in the right spot. I call my contact and like, hey man, I'm here. I think he's like, oh, we're in the shop. Come in. So I go in the shop, and you got the owner. I can't. His name is slipping my mind right now, but the owner, his dad, his nephew, and everyone's in there working together. True family-owned small business, quality work. We've had a couple issues with it, but nothing in the they've been like we had some winch issues, so they're getting us a replacement winch, or parts that are just parts they've added on, but they are extremely quick. I like them so much I ordered a second one, so we'll be picking up our second one hopefully in the next couple months. But highly recommend Cougar over Max D. Great quality, especially for the price point. And then we get our bins manufactured locally. 12 days. I felt like that was quick. When are you gonna do the San Diego meetup so I can plan it out? Oh, why garage cleanouts in Menifee are easier with the right team? So we hired an office team beginning of January. It was probably one of the scariest things I ever did, but one of the best things I ever did. I chose to hire locally. I did not want to outsource it for the first person that we were hiring in office. But one of the things she does is doing all of our GMB postings for our different GMBs. And then we just added in writing blogs. So she's gotten like 7 blogs to me, and I've only posted 2. So I like posting them right now just so I can kind of do that final filter, final walkthrough. For how many homeowners in the garage space taking up cars? It's a catch-all for holiday decorations, tools, sports gear, forgotten boxes from moves long ago. Let me start organizing. If you're putting off that garage clean out for months or even years, here's why. Choosing professional junk removal company can make all the difference, and why it's trying to go along. Real challenges of a DIY clean out. Before we talk about hiring a team, let's talk about what makes a garage clean out tough. Physically demanding. We all know that's true. Lifting heavy boxes, furniture, equipment can be dangerous without proper technique or help. That looks good. Often a lot more than you think. What looks like a weekend project can easily turn into, good. What might not and also dispose of. It's easy to lose motivation without the right plan or support. Garage cleanouts can be overwhelming. You may start with a good intention, but quickly burn out when you hit emotional roadblocks. Awesome. Let's see. Bump. If you're just popping on, I'm just doing some back office work here at the office, specifically uploading one of the blogs our team members wrote, and then trying to figure out, like, one of my guys asking to come in, leave early tomorrow and come in late on Thursday. See if we can make it work, but it shouldn't be an issue. Well, that's group or scheduling bad if I accept that appointment. It shouldn't be an issue at all. If you have any questions, junk removal, dumpster rentals, life, kids, marriage, not really. Been married for 18 years, 6 kids. This is one of our many businesses we've started. One of the few that I would actually call successful. Tub style or square, your call, man. Squares typically going to cost you more. They are going to be more durable, though. They're going to last you longer. They're not going to get as beat up. The downside is they don't look as pretty. You can't really wrap a tub style. You're typically putting on a piece of sheet metal on the side and wrapping that. Personally, we are square. They're gonna the benefits. They're gonna last longer. The downside to tubs that I don't like is that they get beat up really fast, especially if either you cheap out or your manufacturer cheaps out and gets a lot thinner gauge on the sidewalls. Renting that sucker out for one load of construction debris, you're going to start to see the little dimples or, getting banged up. We have a local manufacturer. We were getting these actually manufactured in Mexico. But with tariffs and stuff, I ended up finding another local company, and they are doing an amazing job. So there you go. That is one of our 20 yarders. So 14 feet long, 8 feet wide, and 6 feet tall. I just prefer tub. Speaking of selling the MaxD setup, one of the guys I hate marketplace, man. It's all low ballers. I'll give you $10,000 cash. I don't care if it's cash, check, wire. To be a lot more than 10 grand. No worries. Offers yeah, so tub is it's more durable. Especially, I don't know if you could tell. Tub style, you're going to get a few different types of manufacturers. We specifically wanted these to look like mini 40s. So you see how it has the ribs? That gives it a lot more rigidity. And they are sturdy. I think the 15s empty are almost a ton in weight by itself. So it definitely makes a difference hauling. We've noticed a small dip in MPG, but nothing too crazy. Are you currently in the business or thinking about getting in the business? Know what they're doing. Our team understands how to lift, sort, and dispose of items safely. So, in short, we do the heavy lifting. Oh man, you're an OG then. So, have you just been in the junk removal side, and thinking about getting in the dumpster side, or are you just quizzing me on my dumpster knowledge? There you go. One of the most time-consuming parts of my garage is deciding what to keep, what to toss, and what to donate. A professional team can assist you from. Just junk for now. So we launched. So I guess taking it back in our history, we launched as a dumpster rental company. Like many, we found this industry on TikTok. I know a lot of guys find it on YouTube and everywhere else, but this would have been late 2020. And I was scrolling through TikTok and a video popped up and it said top 10 best side hustles for a pandemic. An option like 7 or 8 was buy a dump trailer, rent it out, Da, 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 da. And I'm like, oh, that's a great idea. And at that time, we were looking for extra cash. I was working a regular job, hated it. It was in the wedding industry, and pandemic and weddings was not a fun combination, especially when you're trying to sell weddings in a pandemic. I did it, but it wasn't fun. And so my daughter's club soccer tuition was coming up, and I wasn't going to tell her she couldn't do that anymore. So we, I went inside, I showed my wife the video. I'm like, hey, what do you think? And she's like, sure. If you think you can make it work, why not? I took the last, I think it had like $6,000 left in the bank. Bought a $5,500 trailer. And then earlier that summer, me and two other buddies, three of us total, bought a 95 GMC 2500 for $900. We put like $800 or $900 into fixing the AC and a couple things. So I'm like, I already got the truck. We'll buy the trailer. I'll drop it off on Fridays, pick it up on Sundays, and dump it on Mondays on my day off. Charge a few $100, every weekend. That's more than enough for soccer, blah, 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 blah. Did all that. And that would have been October. I couldn't get any rentals for most of that month. I got a lot of calls for junk removal though. And, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I was very prideful. I was very cocky, used to going to, work in a suit and tie, used to selling multiple 30, 40, 50, $60,000 weddings over a weekend. And the idea of going to pick up somebody else's trash was just something that I thought I was better than. Stupid, but prideful at the time. And going through that month of October into November, I finally got a call from someone who wanted junk removal again. And I told my wife, you know what? Let me just go see what this is about. And I went on YouTube, found a few different videos, Matt and JoJo for sure. Who else? What's his name? I don't know. Found a few videos, kind of got a general idea on how to charge, what I should be looking for. I went out and I came home in an hour or two and I made like $300-400. And I came home ecstatic. I told my wife, I said, this is it. And I redesigned the logo, created this compared to what we had, started putting everything together in marketing junk removal. In October, things started to pick up. December ended up in the hospital with some heart issues, ended up being in the hospital for a few days. Long story short, I have a video on here that talks all about kind of how and why we started our business. So I don't need to bore you with all that, but ended up quitting my job that month and officially going full time. And then that would have been October 2020. So December 2021 is when we actually bought our first dumpster system and integrated dumpsters. I like both sides of the industry. They're dramatically different. If I had to pick between, if I had to pick hey, Abel, you have the choice. You can either continue your life with junk removal or continue your life with dumpster rentals. I might pick dumpster rentals over junk removal. I like dumpster rentals a lot. Gotta do 100%, man. My wife and I were pastors for a long time. All through that journey, we were pastors in figuring out what the heck we were doing with these businesses. And there's something special about humbling yourself, right? And putting your pride down and just submitting to, what God's will is. And I never thought I was going to be in the trash industry. I don't know how many of us in this industry actually thought, oh yeah, I can't wait to go pick up someone's junk. It's not something that many people probably grow up. Maybe our kids, even some of my kids are like, oh dad, I'm gonna work for you one day. Maybe it's possible. But it's we've been blessed, man. We have 6 kids, been married for 18 years. We very quickly made this our single income. It's been extremely stressful. We hired a team early on, and it's a great business, man. It's very stressful, especially when you build out a team. The costs that you don't really realize that are involved with that. I have half of this sheet right here is everything that I need to pay in the next couple of days, and it's always fun, man. It's always something. Menifee growing city. If you're just joining, I'm just working and talking business, junk removal and dumpsters, little family stuff, junk removal, sort of Menifee. Challenges, we know the neighborhood, line for rest of the nation centers. I'm posting the blog that our office admin wrote for garage cleanouts. Eventually, I'll have her posting them herself, but right now I'm just the first handful, probably first 15 or 20. I'll post just so I can filter through them, make sure it is the style I want, that it has the right opportunities to interlink throughout the website. Something as simple as, are you ready to reclaim your garage? Contact us today for a free in-person estimate. Where it says contact us today, I'm going to link that to our phone number so they can just very quickly click that and give us a call. Featured image. So I mentioned earlier that we fired our SEO company a few years ago. We were paying them $2,200 a month, which was for just our SEO. And I specifically was paying them for extra blog articles. And I trusted them. They were writing out pages. They were creating the content. And one day I just had this thought. I'm like, man, I'm just going to go read some of these pages that they've been writing. And I went to one of the pages was like for apartment cleanouts. And I'm reading the content. And I'm like, what the hell is this? And it's like, best apartment cleaning service in the Temecula Valley. I'm like, done. That was my final straw. First straw and final straw. Reached out, fired them, and took it over myself. We invested in SEO very early on. I haven't paid for SEO in 2 years. It's just a little bit I do here and there. Things like the blogs, getting on different articles. We've been published by Redfin and Rent.com. Those are two great, solid backlinks. We've been listed as an expert in our field, and they quote us on different articles that they do, and they backlink us. So little things like that. That's not little. I guess that's big things like that, and little things like focusing on our blog are all helpful in organic ranking. How did your wife come together on a business plan? Do you have a big vision from God, or just kind of going by the seat? That's a great question, man. The whole business was just started by the seat of our pants. I mean, it was literally, I was doing some woodworking in the garage, which was another business that I had that I thought I was going to love, but I ended up hating it. I loved doing it. I hated doing it for other people. But I walked in on a Thursday. I saw the video. I walked in, I showed it to her. She was like, sure. Total blind faith. She's like, if you think you can make it work, make it happen. I walked out to the garage, jumped on my computer. This was early middle of 2020. So things weren't really too hard to get yet, equipment wise. I found a local trailer manufacturer, and they had the trailer that I wanted, which I didn't know what the heck I needed. I didn't know what I needed. None of us really do. When you're just kind of quickly jumping into something, you just throw stuff at the wall and hope that it works. And so they had a trailer. I called, it was available, and I was like, cool, I'm going to come get it. They called me back a few months later. Hey, actually, someone just walked in, and it sold. But we have a 10-foot long trailer instead of the 12-foot. And I was like, nah, let's go for the 12-foot. I'm like, I'd rather wait a few extra days and get the 12-foot. I'm like, well, how long is it going to take? And they're like, oh, well, we'll have it ready by Monday. I'm like, okay, cool. I can wait till Monday. That's not an issue at all. And I didn't know what I was doing, though. I didn't really research it. I just jumped in thinking I could figure it out like the other businesses that we've done. And I bought a 12 by 6.5 by 2 foot trailer, which was fine until it wasn't, right? Obviously, the 2 feet make a huge difference in us working. Having that 4 foot height is key. So I just jumped into it, and let me see. I'm trying to find a picture of it right now. There we go. So this was the first load. I picked it up, and then I took it straight over to my mom's house to help her move. But that was a truck, good old 95 GMC 2500 that we got for $900. I still have that. That sits in my garage, still runs. It's going to be my son's first truck. It's wrapped. We actually spent $3,500 on the wrap and only $900 on the truck. Oh, there you go. So that's what it looks like now, just sunbeaten. So I guess to answer your question, do we have this great business plan? No, not really. We have a business plan. Where we're going to take it, I don't know. We know that this is what God's called us to do. When we started this business and we really saw kind of what the potential was, we strongly believe that this business was going to lead us to our next business, which we don't really know what that is. We have some thoughts and ideas on what this may lead us to. But what we know right now is that this business is providing for our family. It's providing for all of our team members. It's giving us a comfortable life, and it's opening up a lot of different opportunities. What those opportunities will do, where they take us, what other businesses it may lead us to, I don't know. But we're just kind of taking things a day at a time. We just got this office, the first of this month. So we've been in it for about 3 weeks now. 3 weeks exactly, actually. It is a 1,200 square foot office. It has 4 offices in it. One of those offices, we actually gave it to our church. Our church is a pop-up church, so we meet at an elementary school. And the church doesn't have any offices. So I said, hey, you guys can have this office. Do what you want with it. One of the other offices is my office here, which in the next week or so, I should have a pretty cool graphic that's getting printed. We just had to wait 3 weeks for the paint to finish. They call it gassing off. If not, the graphic wouldn't have stuck. The office directly next door to me, we officially launched our eBay store. Right now, we are just kind of testing and figuring things out. We're just reselling the things that we've gotten on ourselves on jobs, but the goal is to launch a consignment shop. I know a lot of guys in the junk removal industry. We all find ourselves in a similar situation where we find these really cool items. We just don't have the time to sell it. And it sits in our garage or our storage forever, and we end up just throwing it away or donating it. And so the goal is for other junk removal companies that find those cool small items, things that you could throw in a box and mail to me once a month, video games, whatever, things that are worth money, worth my time selling, worth you sending it to me to get a portion of the sales. But we'll eventually have a full-time team member that handles all of the listing, the posting, the researching, the selling, and then we'll do a profit split on the tail end after shipping and eBay fees. And then so that covers 3 offices, three offices, mine, the one we gave to the church, the eBay office. And then the 4th office, we actually we built out a podcast studio. Second half of my day, actually probably need to go soon, is going to be testing the audio and the cameras and making sure all that's good to go. We'll be launching a few different podcasts. Me and my buddy Dave from Junk MD down in San Diego. If you're not following him, highly recommend it. We'll be launching a podcast together. 4 episodes a month is the goal. I have my own personal podcast I'm going to launch locally, which if you do any type of networking, BNI or anything like it, one-to-ones are huge, right? Just getting together with one individual business owner and just getting to know each other and how to figure out how to refer each other more. I'm going to do that, but I'm going to launch it in the form of a podcast. And then I have another one that's top secret. Haven't launched it yet. I will eventually maybe talk about that. But it's really the main reason why we got the office and the whole marketing plan behind making this. I mean, this office is going to cost us like $3,000 a month. So we can't have it just for fun. It's got to make us money. And hopefully that works out. This office will be either my best decision or my stupidest decision, but we will find out eventually. No, starting the business, it was just by the seat of our pants. Now things are drastically different, right? It's no longer just us, right? We can't just hope things work out. Now things are a lot more specific. Our marketing plan's more specific. We have enough data over the last 4 years to really project our growth and what we're going to do. The one thing that's been hard to project is the dumpsters, because they are growing drastically. The dumpster side of our business has grown exponentially, actually. It is very closely becoming 50% of our business, which is huge, because I would say last year was only about 15% of our business. So things are drastically different now. We have very specific plans in place. We have a pretty good idea of when we need to hire people, when we need to get more equipment, when we need to buy more dumpsters, when we'll be able to make the transition into a roll-off truck versus roll-off trailers. Obviously, anything we do in this industry, the downside to the dumpster industry, it's very capital heavy, and trying to stay away from as much debt as possible. Right now we have 4 full-time employees, handful of part-time, our office team member, in-field staff, team members. So yeah, hopefully that answers your question. I think anything without a plan is destined to fail. Realistically, if you're just kind of guessing every single step of the way, maybe you won't fail, but it'll take you longer to get to your final destination. So where we're at now, we definitely have to have a plan. But I'm probably going to drop off here in a few minutes and go get that podcast room tested. So if you have any questions, let me know. I'll probably jump on again, maybe Thursday. Here's a question we just got via text. Good afternoon. Are you able to provide an estimate via text with pictures and description? No. We don't do any pricing until we actually get on site. 99% of the time we've ever done anything based on a photo, it's drastically different in person, and we either overquote, underquote, and it's just not fair to us as a business, our team members getting put in that awkward position, or the customer. We rather get on site. All right, that works, man. The one with me and Dave will be the big one where we bring in a lot of industry guests. And the goal for that podcast is to focus on 3 things, not just junk removal, right? That'll be the industry that we're in will be the basis of everything, obviously, but we really want to focus on business owners as far as our mental health, our business health, and our physical health, and what we need to do as business owners to be at that. We have to have a strong business health, mental health, and physical health to be the best possible versions of ourselves. And as you grow your business and as you grow a team, those 3 things are imperative. And any of those 3 things suffering makes the other 2 that much harder to achieve and makes everything else hard. So that's kind of the general basis of what we're going to be launching that podcast with. Man, 39 minutes. Okay. I thought this was going to be like 5 minutes. I didn't think anyone would pop on. So if you jumped on, I appreciate it. You didn't make me feel like a complete loser. I thought I was just going to be hanging out here for like 10 minutes, 20 minutes with nothing in the background. Appreciate your time, but I got to get to work in the other office. And yeah. All right. Well, if you're not following, definitely follow. I plan on doing this at least 2 or 3 times a week. If you watch this after the fact it's posted, feel free to post any comments, and then I will add those, or questions, and I can add those to the next live that I do. But hopefully everyone has a blessed day. Take care. And yeah,